What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to my channel. Today I've got for you guys a video on a subreddit I haven't been on in a very long time, r/IDontWorkHereLady. Before we get into the stories, make sure to drop a like on this video. Let's try and hit 5,000 likes, and also subscribe if you haven't done already. No, really, school is completely closed. I am on the janitorial team that was sanitizing our public school buildings during the cancellations last week. Monday, I arrived for my first day and I was tackling an auditorium. It was no secret that schools were closed. It was on the news, there were signs on the doors. I think the city even sent a text alert about it to anyone signed up for municipal notifications. And the school absolutely sent emails. But as I'm beginning to clean with my cart and my janitorial uniform, a woman comes in with two kids, 5 and 7-ish. I say, "Hi, I'm sorry, the school is closed for the rest of the..." And she cuts me off and says, yeah, I know, but this is the daycare service, right? No, what? No, I'm just a member of the cleaning crew. Well, where's the daycare? There, what? I don't think there is one. We're sanitizing every room today. You could go to the office and ask, but I didn't see anyone in there. It's really just us. Oh, great, so you're in charge. I'll be back at 2:15, right? I'm not in charge of anything. You'll need to go to the office or probably go home, actually. I don't think there's any kind of service. What are you talking about? They wouldn't just cancel school without a daycare service for working parents. Where's your boss? My boss is also a janitor. Trust me, they cannot help you. Now at this point, the kids had begun to run around the gym, which meant I'd have to re-sanitize whatever they touched. So I said more firmly, "You need to go. I'm not supposed to let people in here during cleaning." At this point, I wasn't sure if she was messing with me or if she really didn't know. She seemed busy. She had a cell phone in one hand and no hands on the kids. Without looking up, she says, "Well, you should have cleaned before the kids started to arrive, shouldn't you?" I'm starting to wonder if I'm the crazy one at this point. There are no kids arriving. I'm cleaning. The school is closed. I know school is closed. That's why I'm leaving them in the daycare. And just like that, she was off. I was calling after her. "Hey, excuse me, lady, you cannot leave kids in here." I didn't know what to do about it, so I took the kids to my boss and asked what we needed to do. The boss said, "So they just left these kids here? Why didn't you tell her the school was closed? Who doesn't know that by now?" I explained that I did tell her, and she either was so checked out she didn't understand or she chose to ignore me. Yep, probably the latter. So the boss said, "This is all way too risky. We can't keep an eye on them and there are dangerous products, and who knows why she left them here. We don't need this problem. Better call whoever you call about kids with no one to watch them. Cops?" We also had one of the janitors trying to get a name and number off the kids, but they didn't really know. But we have a few undocumented immigrants on the crew and a couple others who would have just been nervous to have cops buzzing around the workplace, so we googled it and ended up calling a child services hotline. Ultimately, a social worker came and with cops, but they didn't bother anyone. They just focused on the kids. The cops went through the kids' bags and found their last name on a school binder and found a number to call. They got the kid's father, who was irate. They had the conversation on a speakerphone, so I caught bits and pieces. "What do you mean? They're where? Aren't schools closed?" And he was there within 10 minutes. I guess he called his wife for an explanation during that time because she arrived not too soon afterwards. The cops and social worker were lecturing them, and the woman was like, "I left them with a childcare worker in the drop-off area." And they reiterated there was no daycare and they had no idea what she was talking about. So to that point, I thought, okay, I guess she's just really dumb. Then the cops let them go with a warning about understanding where they're leaving their kids and with whom. But as they were leaving, the woman sneered at my boss. "Was it really such a big deal that you had to call the police?" So now I wonder whether she was trying to pull a fast one on us or if she was just that stupid. The world may never know, but I still laugh at the story. You know what, guys? I reckon she knew exactly what she was doing. The way she was trying to pawn her kids off to you, she seems conniving and probably a little bit intelligent, I'd go as far as to say. Look, you even said in your introduction that you were wearing a janitor's uniform. Surely she can't be that stupid to go, "Look, someone in a janitor's uniform. They look like they're doing daycare." I mean, come on, she knew what she was doing. That all being said, I don't think I've ever been as entertained and disgusted by a member of the human race before. Wouldn't you guys agree? A great story nonetheless. Moving on to our second story. Are you deaf? So this just happened and I'm actually kind of proud of it. A bit of backstory, I stay with my kids during the day and work nights. My husband and I have opposite shifts so we can save on daycare. Because of this, I don't usually go grocery shopping during the week because it can be difficult getting my kids through the store. My daughter sometimes has meltdowns in big crowds. She doesn't have any sensory issues according to her doctor. We think she just doesn't like the noise or just gets tired easy and that makes her fussy. Well, if that's the case, you definitely should not take her shopping during all this coronavirus stuff that's happening right now. That would be absolute bedlam. Anyway, I remembered that I was supposed to get party supplies for work today because one of the ladies there is going on maternity leave and I had volunteered to help set up a party for her. So off to the store we all go and everything goes surprisingly well. I'm getting ready to check out at the self-scanner when it happens. I feel a tap on my shoulder followed by the "excuse me" that we all know and dread. So I turn around, my mistake. Despite the tone used, the lady seemed relatively normal, no Karen haircuts, until she started talking. "Excuse me, this won't scan." I look around and she is definitely talking to me. Now I would normally help, even if someone is rude, because why not? However, her tone and pitch was harsh enough that my daughter started clinging to my arm. My son just doesn't care. "Excuse me, hello, a little help?" I'm just focused on my daughter, rubbing her back because I feel her start to freak out. How this lady thought I could help is beyond me. I don't work there and was dressed like I literally rolled out of bed. Fortunately, the self-checkout attendant shows up and asks what the problem is. "This won't scan and this person," gesturing vaguely in my direction, "is no help." The lady turns back to me while the attendant tries to ring up the item for her. "You are so rude. Are you deaf or something?" At this point, I still hadn't said a word to her and the idea hit me. Oh, I see where this is going. Like a freaking beautiful rainbow wrapped in lightning. I'm not deaf, but me and my kids are learning ASL, American Sign Language. I just started learning it so I can ask basic questions and can sign the Baby Shark song. Don't ask, my kids love it. Yeah, I'm not going to ask about that. Smiling the biggest freaking smile I could manage, I start signing. It makes no sense. I'm basically saying, "How are you? Do you want food? What is your name?" I know a little sign, Baby Shark song. I swear, I never saw someone lose color in their face so fast in my entire life. It was glorious. She got her items, paid, and practically ran out of there, the attendant trying her best not to laugh. I turned to the attendant and said cheerfully, "Have a nice day." She and I shared a good laugh and I went home. P.S. My daughter is fine, she probably just got scared. Again, I feel like I'm saying this every episode now, but the ways that the people that post these stories on Reddit are now dealing with entitled parents and just stupid people like this is so good. I feel like finally we're learning how to deal with people like this and just, put them in their place, give them some justice. Like the level of embarrassment that you've just made that woman go through for something that's not even true, like you're not actually deaf, is so good. Fair play to you, OP, well done. Moving on to our final story. Apparently the old lady I always help in the grocery store thought I worked there. I do my shopping the exact same time every week in a large grocery store. There's a little old woman who usually does her shopping at around the same time. She has some mobility issues and doesn't buy much, so after a few times of seeing her having to flag down help every time she wanted something from a shelf above shoulder level, I approached her and asked if she'd like a shopping companion. It took me under 10 minutes to get everything on her list and she was very gracious and grateful. She even offered me a few dollars, which I didn't accept, of course. I didn't give this a second thought. I wasn't raised to question whether you take 10 minutes to help an old woman in the grocery store or not. It's just what you do. So next week when I saw her again, I asked if she'd like someone to shop with her and she was again very grateful for the help. It became our usual routine that whenever I spotted her, usually every other week or two, I'd give her a hand. One week I didn't do my shopping at the usual time. I worked a little late and when I came in there was a big fuss at the customer service desk involving my shopping friend and a young man. I started to go over to be sure everything was alright and I hear the young man saying, "What do you mean no one with that name works here? She had a name tag on. My mum saw the name, right ma?" And the old lady said she did. The flummoxed customer service kid is saying he really doesn't have anyone by that name who works there. The young man is going, "What do you mean? Did you fire her? She was here last week, right ma?" And I realize it's my name and the potential source of confusion. I go in for shopping immediately after work and my work uniform is a maroon shirt and khaki pants with a name tag. The grocery store I shop at has white shirts, any kind of pants you want, and a maroon apron with the store's logo, so a little similar. I go over and she gleefully cries, "There you are! I want you to meet my son!" And he started telling me how grateful he is I was taking time out of my work to personally help his mum shop. And now that he's in town, he wanted to say thanks in person and give me some money, or at least put in a good word with my manager at the store. So could I point them out so he could speak with them? I explained the confusion and they were both so touched. It was one of the most poignant moments of my life, and definitely the most meaningful I've ever had in a supermarket. Well guys, I hope you enjoyed that story. I picked that one out especially because, you know, we get a lot of negative stories, a lot of entitled parents on this channel. I thought I'd give you a wholesome one to end this video. It just shows that if you do something nice to help someone else's life, it really does affect them and help them in a positive way. Like clearly it did with this lady, right? Her son came all the way from out of town to personally thank you. That is awesome. Well done. I feel like right now, more than ever, it is all of our duties to be as good as we possibly can to everyone around us, like OP in the story, and just be a good person in general. Anyway guys, that is going to do it for this episode of r/IDontWorkHereLady on my channel. I really hope you have enjoyed it. If you did, drop a like, show your support for this subreddit. Now I have done lots of other r/IDontWorkHereLady videos before. They're on screen right now if you want to go and check them out, but I haven't done for a very long time, so if you want more, comment down below, let me know. Now just as a little treat, a behind the scenes for those of you that watch all the way through the video, even throughout the outro, this is an outtake that happens when I get something wrong. Here you go, enjoy it. If you enjoyed this subreddit and want more, let me know down in the comments and support it by showing a like.